How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Flybuds NCs, and I'm mainly going to compare it to the Flybuds 1 just because those currently are my favorite budget in-ear headphones. For the price, you can find it on Amazon for 60 bucks. This is still budget range, especially if it's noise cancellation for in-ear headphones. So these do have noise cancellation, but how good are they? Just don't expect it to be as good as the AirPods Pro. From my impression, these can block out those basic low hums, the ambient noises that we don't really pay attention to, like the ventilation coming off of buildings, especially when they're not too loud. So they do a pretty decent job at that. It does help a little bit when you do have music playing, but it just doesn't really suck you in as much in your own world as the AirPods Pro. So I wouldn't rely on a noise cancellation alone. So if you're at a cafe listening to people around you, most likely it's not going to be as effective as the AirPods Pro. Now these buds do have ambient mode, which can be useful in some certain situations like going up to a cashier or just make a quick talk. So it's nice that you can still hear the outside world. Now coming from the Flybuds 1, I feel like these are really bulky and heavy, so the difference is pretty massive there. They do have really responsive touch controls, so I have no problems with it. The commands are similar to the Flybuds 1, so you just don't have the option to skip back or backtrack to the last track you want to play. The buds do have a nice matte coating, feels pretty smooth, and that also goes the same for the case. It's a clean looking case, but to be honest, it feels pretty cheap in the hands. It's very plasticky compared to the Flybuds 1. Even though the Flybuds 1 case is thicker and it doesn't show you the LEDs on the outside, if I do drop it, I'm not afraid that's gonna break. It does have a lanyard and even a little hole for you to use a carabiner. And just the overall quality just feels great in the hands. They both can charge through USB-C, but the Flybuds NC case cannot wirelessly charge, which the Flybuds 1s can. Now moving on to the sound, Tribit in all of their headphones has a good amount of bass, so I can't really complain there. It's good enough for most people. The overall clarity in the vocals just feels like they're just so drowned into the mids. And of course, the volume is not as loud as the Flybuds 1. Personally, I would pick the Flybuds 1 just because they are way louder, the clarity is much better, and the soundstage sounds way more massive. I'm just really impressed on how good the audio quality is coming out of these tiny earbuds. When I made a phone call to my friend, he did notice a big difference between the two. On the Flybuds 1, he said that my voice is very scratchy and the volume sounds really low. So it wasn't really a hard choice for him to choose which one is better. Clearly the NCs are going to be the better ones here. So overall, I do prefer the Flybuds 1. I love the case quality, the tiny build, and the massive sound. And especially for the price of 30-ish bucks compared to 60 bucks, which is double the price, it's so much more cheaper. I feel like I'm getting more value out of the Flybuds 1 than the Flybuds NC. As far as noise cancellation, I feel like it's not as powerful enough to the point where it's that useful, especially if you're coming from the Flybuds 1 where the music is already so loud, it blocks out a lot of the ambient noise anyways. The only pro I can think about if you want to grab the Tribit NCs is the microphones. If you make a lot of phone calls, then that's going to be the better one, but I feel like everything else, the Flybuds 1 is better. So that is my honest opinion on these earbuds. Big thanks to Tribit for letting me try out these earbuds to let you guys know how I feel about them. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and please give a like if you do. You can find me on Instagram, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.